Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah. We have an excellent show for you today. The Zor Shrine Circus is in town. We're going to talk to those folks a little bit later. Tax season is here. We're going to give you some pointers. But first, we're going to talk about creating sustainable landscapes. And joining us to do just that is Nickolas Ashley, who joins us from Mother Earth Organic. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
How are you doing today?
I am well. How are you?
Great. So this is a topic I don't know a lot about. I'm very excited to learn about how we can create sustainable landscapes. First of all, give me the 101. What is a sustainable landscape?
A sustainable landscape is one that is beautiful yet doesn't impact the surrounding environment. A lot of work goes into taking care of plants and making sure that they are as beautiful as they can be. And with the use of fertilizers, it can actually have a negative impact on surrounding areas. So a sustainable landscape is going to be one that minimizes storm water runoff and the contaminants associated with lawn care and landscape care.
Okay, so not only it's a beautiful area in your garden, but it's also really going to be the best in terms of keeping those surroundings safe and healthy.
Yes, it's going to promote the best health in the plants, and it's also going to promote the best health in the ecosystem for your not just neighborhood but region.
Excellent. Okay. Now I've heard of a rain garden. Is this sort of similar, or what is a rain garden in comparison, and how does it work?
A rain garden is something that you can do to increase the sustainability of your landscape. It is a garden that can be anywhere from 90 to hundreds of square feet. It incorporates the water runoff associated with like your gutters and your paved areas. So it will keep the water on your property, reducing the impact on our local waterways, lakes, streams, and et cetera. It also keeps those contaminants right on your property to allow them to filter through your soils so that the water that ends up going into our aquifer is actually clean.
So it's actually staying there and doing what it's supposed to do instead of washing away into something else and being potentially harmful.
Exactly. It plays into the natural process of the water system.
Okay, very good. So some great things that you're doing at Mother Earth Organic to help folks, really keep that area healthy and green and not have negative impact on other areas. And you actually have a program called the Child Safe Program. So explain what that is. Child Safe Lawn Program, is that what it's called?
It's the Child Pet Safe and Lake Safe Lawn Program. We refuse to use chemicals when we're caring for properties. There are no toxins or risk of exposure for your loved ones. And it's going to improve the biology of the soil. It's not just giving the grass a little bit of plant food. It's increasing the microbial activity in the soil, as well as incorporating a lot of organic materials that typical traditional lawn care companies don't use or incorporate into their programs.
Okay, so let's talk about those organic materials for just a second. So my understanding is that organic materials are actually more drought proof. Is that true, and why?
That is true. A lawn that is improved with organic materials is going to have higher levels of carbon and other elemental minerals, and it's going to, those carbon act like little sponges, which give the microbes and the fertilizers and the herbicides somewhere to go without just being washed away.
Wow, okay. Lots of little pointers and things that you do. I wish we had more time to discuss more in detail, but just real quick for folks at home, let them know what other services you have.
We offer full service landscaping, snow plowing, we do cleanups, full service lawn care, and we do design build as well. So pretty much anything that you need outdoors.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, Nickolas, thank you so much for joining us from Mother Earth Organic. If you would like his help, give him a call, visit their website, and please stick around because after the break, we've got a great event for you and the family. We'll talk to the Zor Shrine Circus after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are talking about a very fun event that is coming up right around the corner. And who better to do that than Mark Severson, who joins us from Zor Shrine Circus. Welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
Glad to have you today.
We appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, this is a fun topic, great for families and folks of all varieties who are looking for a fun event. Now, tell us a little bit about the event that you are here to talk about today.
Well, we're here to talk about our 61st annual circus here at the Dane County Coliseum. Once again, as you stated, it's family-based. We work with our producer, Mr. George Carden, to go around the country and around the world to get the best acts that he can find that promote good family relationships and are super a lot of fun.
Very good. Lots of fun. Now, you've been doing this, how many years did you say?
This is our 61st.
61st year. So
Right.
this is something
We were actually putting circuses on before they built the Coliseum.
Wow, okay.
So we're the second longest running show at the Coliseum.
That is very impressive. This is a well-oiled machine, I would have to imagine.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about where the event is held. And now this is a mid-February event, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We hold it inside in the warm Coliseum, so families can come in, and all you got to do is trek through depending on the weather. February is kind of iffy every once in a while, but it's nice and toasty warm in there. There's a lot of noise, and it's just a great time. The kids just love coming to the shows.
Absolutely. What a fun event to do. Highly recommend you check them out if you're looking for something fun. That February 13th, 14th, and 15th.
And 15th.
And just why a circus? What is it about a circus?
The family, Shriners and the Masons are family-based, and what better show to put on than the oldest entertainment in the United States is circuses. Been going on for hundreds of years, and like I say, the show is based all around, some towards the kids, there's some towards the adults, but most of it is the flash and the bang, and you watch the kids and you see the tightrope walkers up there and they're going like that, and the motorcycles, and we have horse acts this year, which is new. We've brought back the Windy City Tumblers, which are a tumbling act, and they just blew our socks off the last 2 years, so we're brought them back again this year to watch. The kids enjoy that. The whole thing is based on families. You can go down and ride ponies or camels or whatever. You can go down and get your picture taken with clowns. We have our own clowns plus the show clowns. And it's, like I said, it's all based right around the family unit.
Very exciting. So this is a great kind of wow factor to see some really neat acrobatics of all kinds.
Yes.
And I imagine there are some trapeze work going on. That
Yep.
might not be the right
Trapeze,
term.
yep. Trapeze,
that's
jugglers.
always fun.
We have a teeterboard act where they go bounce and flip around like that. Then like I said, the high wire, of course, we have the tigers and the horses that I've already my favorite, which is unfortunately at the end of the show, is the human cannonball. David Smith is one of the premier cannonballers.
Yes.
In
That's the grand finale,
world.
right?
Yes, yeah. And he always puts on a good show.
Fabulous.
Like I say, we have lots of things going on, and it's constantly moving. There's very little drag time. So.
Yeah. So it's an upbeat show, fun for the whole family, something for everyone, animal lovers, all the thrills, bells and whistles that you would hope for.
Right.
And let's talk real quick before we go. I want to mention now the prices are really very reasonable. So we've got general admission for 17 and reserved seating for 21. So for a circus of this magnitude, what a great way, affordable way for family to get together and have a good time.
We strive real hard to put on a good show and keep the pricing down. We have of course, all the nobility buys tickets and stuff like that. We have some corporate sponsors. A couple other things that I'd like to add for the family thing is, with the purchase of a $2 program, we're through generous donations from some of our units, we're giving away 3 bicycles and 3 bike helmets at each one of the shows.
Outstanding.
We also have family day passes to Circus World.
Oh, fabulous.
And some passes for Pizza Hut.
Fantastic.
In addition to the tickets, and once again, thanks to generous donations, we bring in 29 special needs or underprivileged groups for absolutely no cost.
Wow.
Their Saturday morning show is based around those people. So, and any unused tickets from the nobility are going to the military this year for families to be able to come to the show.
Really great things that you're doing. So some wonderful giving back efforts as well. Great event for families. Make sure you check them out on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Please don't go anywhere. We've got more Talk of the Town coming up right after the break. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We've got a special guest joining us who I've asked here after discovering they are one of Madison's favorites, according to In Business magazine. We've got Sam Mack joining us from Marigold Kitchen. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Thanks
Glad
for
to be
joining
here.
us. Yeah, absolutely. So I asked you to come talk a little bit about what you guys have going on there. Obviously a favorite of Madison, and it's a unique experience. So kind of tell us what makes it so unique.
Well, Madison, is a unique town, and a lot of people think of Marigold as part of that downtown experience that they do. When you order at the counter and there's all the bustling and energy going on, it has a real family type of feel in there, and that's really what makes it special.
Absolutely. And now, have you been open for 14 years? Is that right?
At August of 2001, we opened. John Ghetto and Philip Hurley opened in 2001.
Fabulous. So that's a long time running. So what do you think it is after 14 years? How do you kind of keep things new and fresh?
Well, John and Philip really push myself and Christy and the other managers to really keep it fresh in there. They challenge us to come up with new ideas all the time, whether it's food, whether it's how we handle the service. They really encourage us and to push it and to, keep up to date on what's going on with food and really challenge us that way. So
that's important to not settle, right? You can kind of settle into a comfort zone, but you got to stay on top of things, and especially in this town, right? With all these restaurants.
Yeah, there's more and more.
Absolutely.
Great restaurants.
Some great restaurants. And you guys do just a wonderful job of keeping folks on their toes over there, and I think that's great that they encourage you to do so.
Yeah.
And additionally, you also do some community give back efforts. So speak about that, if you will.
Well, we're involved with groups like Dane Buy Local and REAP. We do a lot of events with them. Christy just did a Chef in the Classroom experience, which was really pretty cool. We give away lots of gift cards, food to nonprofits, and we really try to stay engaged like that. So.
I love that. That's so wonderful. And you have some other associations, correct, with some other restaurants? So explain that.
John and Philip also own Sardine over in Machinery Row complex, and Gates and Brovey is the newest restaurant over on Monroe Street.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
So 3 restaurants right here, right in
Madison.
town.
Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic. So are they 3 different experiences?
They are very different experiences. Marigold is the breakfast, lunch, and brunch. Sardine is, the French-style bistro overlooking the lake, and Gates and Brovey is, your neighborhood bar and grill. But they're all based on the food experience. Really good, solid food.
Wonderful. Great food and some very different environments. So what a fun thing. And now how long have you been involved with Marigold?
I started in 2010.
Okay.
So
you're not new.
Not new, but not as long as some. But yeah.
What do you think your favorite thing about being part of Marigold is?
My favorite thing of being part of Marigold, it has to be all the people I get to meet, all the customers and the stories I hear. The staff that I work with, it really, to me, that's it. It's really the people.
And to kind of sum up for us here, what do you think is really the key? If you had to kind of name something as the key to success over there, do you have an idea what that might be?
I think so. I think it really comes down to just having really great, awesome food. That's really the key to it, and good service and a friendly staff. But people really know our restaurants through the food.
Yeah.
through the food experience. So.
Absolutely, and you obviously love what you do.
Yeah.
And that, I'm sure, translates to the staff there and the service and the experience on top of having great food. So
Awesome.
wonderful, and congrats on the mention
Yeah.
in Business Magazine. Not
Oh,
a
thank
small
you.
thing, not a
Yeah.
small task, and just fun having you, Sam. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, check out Marigold right downtown Madison, and a couple other great restaurants to check out as well. And please stick around after the break. We're going to give you some tax tips. It's that time of year. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. As promised, we're going to talk a little bit about taxes. Whether you're ready or not, it is that time of year. So we're going to speak with David Price, who joins us from A1 Tax and Financial. So welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, well, what a perfect time of year to have you on. We're all thinking taxes. All kinds of questions are swirling around our mind. And we're going to talk a little bit about tax preparation. So first of all, laws are changing, right? I mean, laws change frequently with taxes. What changes are viewers going to see that we need to know about for tax prep this year?
Well, I think first viewers need to know that Wisconsin has its own unique tax laws and definitions from the federal. Fortunately, Wisconsin has very minor changes that most people won't even recognize. The big change this year is the Affordable Care Act. And every American who files taxes is going to run into new schedules and new questions concerning were they covered by health care, did they get their coverage through the exchange, did they get a subsidy, did they not have health care? And depending on those answers is going to determine what other schedules and questions that they run into. So it's really been a major change for individuals and for preparers.
Interesting, and there's a bit to keep up with in terms of taxes, and I know, ever since we've had computers, right, some folks choose to take on the responsibility of doing their own taxes. Do you find that a lot of people are doing their own taxes, or do most people reach out?
Well, I still think there are a large percentage of people who do their own taxes. We look at, having or doing your taxes is kind of comparable to going to the dentist for a root canal. You have to do it, but you'd like it not to be as pain-free. You'd like it to be as pain-free as possible,
yes.
and not cost a lot of money. So yeah, a lot of people are doing their own. Computers are great. They can calculate, subtract, add without error. They can pre-populate. If you put your name and social security number in, it populates all the fields, but it can't cover all of the tax laws and changes that individuals won't know on their own.
Right, and let's talk a little bit about that. What, in your opinion, are some of the most important advantages to using a tax preparer?
Knowledge of the tax law is probably the main one. Any tax company or preparer who's been in business a while is continually going to continuing education classes to keep up with the tax law. And knowing when a client comes in and you look at what they give you for their tax information and interviewing them, asking questions about them, knowing what deductions and what tax credits they ought to be eligible for. And that's what most individuals miss when they do their own taxes.
Okay, very good. And when we're looking for a tax preparer, are there certain questions that we need to be asking them? What's the best process?
Well, the calls that we get, the first question is how much do you cost?
Sure.
And quite frankly, tax preparers typically charge based on the complexity of the return. So it's very hard to give a true estimated cost. You can give a ballpark. But you really want to know how long have they been in business? Do they have any certifications? Do they have a preparer tax ID number and e-filing ID number, because those signify that the IRS recognizes them? What's included? Tax is a seasonal business. Are you open 12 months of the year?
Good question.
Because the IRS typically sends letters out if they have questions in the summer or in the fall. So are you available? And if I need your help, is it going to cost me extra, or is that included in the fee of doing my taxes?
Very good. So lots of great questions to ask, and we got to go, but any final words of advice to our tax preparers and folks that are out there looking for a tax preparer?
I would say that the first word of advice is don't be afraid to get help, especially this year.
Yeah.
Just because you filed your return and your software said it was fine and you got a refund, that doesn't mean it was right.
Right.
It just means that it was fileable.
Right.
And I would say, for my business, I'm making the offer to anyone, our viewers especially, from April 16th to May 16th, if you have filed your own taxes and you want what I'll call a free check to see if it was done correctly, give me a call. The number's on the screen, and I will set up an appointment for you to go over what you filed and let you know if I find anything that you missed.
Great.
For free.
What an offer. That's outstanding. So make sure you take him up on that. David Price of A1 Tax and Financial. I greatly appreciate the advice. And what a nice offer for viewers to do a double check. We appreciate that so much. Thanks for joining us today.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks to our guests, and thank you so much for watching Talk of the Town. Please join us next time.